Facebook friends, Marianne here. I just had to take a moment to tell you why I have the most wonderful husband in the world. And first of all, I've been doing all-nighters for almost the last 3 nights, and finally was able to get some sleep today. And my husband, as wonderful as he is, when he saw that I was getting up and wasn't going to get to have that much sleep after doing all that work, he said, okay, I want you to go to bed, wake up when you wake up, and I'm going to stay up, pick the last bit of printing and have it all on the porch so that Yolanda can pick it up so that you can get the sleep you need. Now, that was just amazing. So as if that were not amazing enough in itself, I wake up today and I have a note that says, sweetie, there's a surprise for you. So I come in here and look at this. This is from a favorite restaurant called Carte Blanche. And if you haven't been there, it is probably one of the few restaurants in Dallas that is truly on the level of some of those fancy places that my wonderful foodie husband loves to go to. And we have been dying to go and not try them in the mornings because they make the most wonderful pastries, because that's how they began. The wife was a pastry chef, and the husband is, cooks everything else, and the two of them combined and had a wonderful catering thing, and they opened that place that it's just phenomenal. But the pastry stuff is apparently amazing in the morning. I know Kalu told me he went over there and it's to die for. And look at this. I wake up and I have this. Isn't that unbelievable? Just unbelievable. You just talk about, sweetie, I have a surprise for you, bing. And then if that weren't enough, I was opening up my purse and look at this. He went out of his way and he filled, I have to carry this with me all the time in case I get struck with seizure migraine, and it had been out and I hadn't gotten around to it. And I opened my purse and he filled it. And then he told me there's another surprise. I walk over in the kitchen and he has one of my favorite cookies in the world. Now, is that not a super amazing husband or what? So I just had to take a moment to share with you what a beautiful, beautiful human being my husband is, and just how much I appreciate him. So anyway, just wanted to share that with the world. Hope all of you are doing great. I wasn't able to get out there because ironically I was doing the work prior, leading up to supporting it, but which knocked me out instead of being able to join. But Yolanda is doing, literally as we speak, a wonderful presentation that is going to be on the missing and murdered Indigenous women. And for those of you that don't know, that refers to a lot of the women who go disappearing around so-called man camps. And man camps are what the oil companies and other people refer to where their workers go. Apparently in man camps, that's only men. And wherever it's a man camp, you have murdered and missing women that disappear. Now, a lot of companies that are doing things right, they've set things up so that it's now camps that have families. And if it's more family oriented, amazing that the numbers of murdered and missing women go way down. A lot of them have police, or even the CEO will do random stops, and if they don't know when that's going to happen, again, the numbers go way down. But unfortunately, still a lot of oil companies do not do anything to make things right, and so that rate of murdered missing Indigenous women is continuing. And it's important that we here in Dallas, Texas are very aware of it, because it is largely a problem precipitated by the oil industry, which has done little to change what they do over the years. And so kudos to Yolanda for speaking up about that. And she is joining Sinmin Pak, who is doing an entire presentation on comfort women today, and that is focused on the sex trafficked women during World War II that were set up. And comfort women was a euphemism for basically a prostitute house. And so when people were kidnapped, the women were often forced to be in it, and including a lot of women that served as nurses during World War II who were sex trafficked into that. So anyway, it's just amazing to see what these two women are going to be sharing, along with all sorts of other wonderful people doing presentations at the Holocaust Museum today. So kudos to Sinmin Pak for helping to bring that together. Thank you for including the Mimsy Institute, and Yolanda, I know you are going to be doing a truly wonderful job out there. So thanks to everybody. Please do keep your eye on this as an issue, though, because the rate of murder and missing Indigenous women is only increasing, and part of that is because the Violence Against Women Act does not include Indigenous people. And the reason it doesn't include the Native American people is because legally, if you're on a reservation, you're your own sovereign nation, and therefore they cannot prosecute an American citizen that commits a crime on their land, and then the nearby city can't prosecute because it didn't occur within the city limits. So basically, like if you went out to Taos Pueblo, which is what the city of Taos is named after, and they're literally right next to each other to where you can step over line have 1 foot in the Pueblo, 1 foot reservation, 1 foot on the city. Well, if a man goes there and he rapes someone, it wouldn't matter if he had all the videography, all the proof in the world, all the DNA in the world. Taos Pueblo couldn't prosecute him if he was an American citizen, and the city of Taos couldn't prosecute him because it couldn't occur within city limits. This is because largely the Republican Party is afraid that it would set a standard which would allow reservations to try citizens. But unfortunately, by leaving this loophole open, it makes Native American women the #1 demographic that is sought after and trafficked, because there's no real means to come down in terms of enforcing the law against rape and sex trafficking that occurs there. So, that's something that here in the United States, we need to really pay attention. And here in Dallas, where we have so many headquarters with oil companies, we need to do our part to stay aware. So one of the biggest people that fights this is Jodi Yellowfish, and one of the biggest people that fights this is Yolonda Bluehorse. So whenever you have an opportunity to hear any of these women speak, please, please, please go out, because you'll be very glad you did. And it's amazing what you'll learn and how we can put pressure as the public on these companies to actually do business right. So anyway, it's good to know that when all that craziness is going on, that there is there are amazing men in the world, like my hubby who brought me pastry. So anyway, I'm gonna go enjoy it now. Love to all of you. Talk to you soon.